Yeah, so we take a look at 17.6 and we'll look at 17.5, and it just gives us really four different ways to calculate um, indexes. Okay, simple. I'm going to tell you guys the toughest thing about this is trying to pronounce these two here because I have no idea how to pronounce them. Le Peri and Pache. Sound like French people, but I don't recall French people being particularly good at statistics, so I don't know. Anyhow, the simple method's this. We really don't consider quantity, okay? So we're just talking about the simple price and what's changed, and remember how we did that with the other one. And I don't have the hundreds in here, but certainly we could put the hundreds in here, I guess. Our simple one then is simply, right, our new price, basically our 013 price divided by our original price, and we do that times the 100, I guess. Okay, and we do that down for each of these without taking into consideration any of the quantities. Okay, and here we have totals, right? Totals. We can do this one then either way, I guess. We could average these, or we can take our totals. Okay, which one did I do? I just took the totals, right? This, and I could have just carried it all the way. Oops. Divided by this times 100. Could have just carried that further down. Is that the same number that I had before? I think it might be. And otherwise I can do, I believe, the average of these here. See if that turns out. And that turns out to be a different number, so it's not the average. So you do have to do just the totals on these. What we're looking at here then is for each of these, it's just the index for each particular product. And this is the index for the total, which is the added total of those prices by each. So doing an average wouldn't be the same. I should have realized that, I guess, in thinking about it, because you get such different numbers here that the average wouldn't turn out that way. Anyhow, we go on to Les Paris, and it takes quantity into consideration, but what we do is we say that what happens if it's the same quantity, right? So the quantity doesn't change, but we take into consideration the quantities that were purchased originally, at least when we do this. So we take the price increase, but we calculate then the quantity as if it was the original quantity. So first we have to do that. So we get the price, the 00 price times the 00 quantity, right? So we get 6 times 249, etc. So this is equal to the 2000 price times the 2000 quantity, and then I can just carry that down. Okay, and I total that, so I'm getting a total kind of like I have up here. Do the sum, right? Okay. And then I do the same thing here, except I'm using the 2013 price with the the 2013 price with the 2000 quantity. So as if quantities haven't changed. And you know, the reason quantities change, in fact, when they do the CPI, they take into consideration then changes in people's buying habits, right, through the years. And we'll see how we might adjust for that later. So in this case then, it's the 2013 price times the quantity, and I carry that down, and then I sum it. Okay, now I've got these two sums, and so I figure my index this way. This is equal to this one divided by this one, and I do multiply that by 100 to get an actual index. Okay, so 147. Saying that things in 2013, basically, if we're looking at the same quantity of stuff, it was about 50% more expensive. That's basically what that's saying. Now the Posh, whatever. Anyhow, we reverse that a little bit, and we say we're going to use it as if we were purchasing everything based on the 2013 quantity. So we're we're going to take our current buying habits and then extend that back and see what that does to the prices. And it's going to be a little bit of a change. So we've got, again, this is just equal to the 2000 price times the 2013 quantity, okay, which in that case didn't change, but then just carry those down. Okay, do a total. I'm not going to do all of that. And then the 13 price times the 13 quantity equals the 13 price times the 13 quantity. Carry those down again, you get the total. Do the math here. Simply equal to this one divided by this one times 100 gives us our index. So a little bit different, right? 100 and almost 50% here, just a touch over 50% here. Then Fisher's really just combines these two. Well, Fisher's makes it really simple, so when we combine these two, I can just multiply this one times this one and then take the square root. It's kind of odd, why you don't average that way. You take the one times the other. I don't know. There's got to be a reason. I suppose if you had really different quantities, that would make a difference versus the average. But in any event, it's one times the other, and then just take the square root of that product. So we got it's equal to. Let's do this in parentheses. This one, the Lace Pierce times the Pache to the 1/2, because I want the square root, right? $148. I wonder how that differs between that and the average. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit. But not too much. Just had to take a look at it to see. But again, I imagine those differences would be greater than if you had, really big different swings in quantities or prices and whatnot. But anyhow, there's how you do it for 17.6.